Hello, dear friends. If you go to a search engine on the internet and you type in my name, one of the first things that pops up is Robin Greenfield net worth. So apparently, a lot of people want to know, what is my net worth? Well, when you click on the first links, most of them will tell you I'm a millionaire or even a multi-millionaire. That could not be further from the truth. So today, I'm going to tell you the truth. What is my net worth? Plain and simple, my net worth right now is about $3,000. My financial assets can fit right inside of this book. $266 is the financial net worth that I have. My material possessions are around $2,800. So when you add this $266 and you add everything that I own, which fits onto a cart that I'm currently pushing down the road from Canada to Los Angeles, my total net worth is about $3,000. In fact, I've removed myself from the monetary system so much that my credit score isn't even zero. It's actually non-existent. A handful of years I went online. There's no credit score anymore. Now, right now, it's just $100, $150, $200, $260, $266. But I've had as much as $7,000 cash since I started to live this way. Since 2015, my net worth has been a maximum of $15,000, but generally ranging from about $2,000 to $10,000. And the material possessions that I've had have had a range from anywhere from about $700 to about $7,000. Since 2016, my yearly earnings have ranged from $0 to $10,000 as I have committed to earning less than the federal poverty threshold annually. The little bit of money that I make comes from public speaking, as well as recently, I've started to host some foraging schools and barefoot schools on a donation basis. And just recently on this walk, I've started to accept some financial contributions from people who just want to support me. This is all detailed in full transparency on my website. Now, when you look at these other net worth websites, the ones that tell you I'm a millionaire, usually what they report is I am a successful YouTube star. Now, that's not true at all. The reality is that I don't monetize my YouTube channel. I never have. I've never made a penny from my YouTube channel. I want to share this information with you from the deepest place of my heart, not from a place of earning money. There's a lot of issues with credibility and integrity once you start to monetize your message. And so I am simply not doing that. I have not made a penny from my social media either. I have done some paid social media collaborations, and how that works is 100% of that is donated directly to nonprofits and activists doing the work. I simply have not made a penny from my YouTube or my social media. So, why do I keep my net worth to such a minimum? Well, I simply cannot rationalize having so much while others have so little. We live at a time of such great inequity, and I am just unwilling to be contributing to that. I want to live simply so that others can simply live, which is a teaching of my greatest influence, Mahatma Gandhi. I've also committed to life to earning less than the federal poverty threshold so that I will not pay federal taxes, which pay for the military, war, fossil fuels, big ag, big pharma, all of these aspects of society that I do not think are leading us down a path of harmony and equity and justice and deep connection. And so earning very little helps to remove myself from these systems and instead help me to be involved in the systems that I want to be involved with. I have largely demonetized my life, which means I don't need that much money. I have relationships with the earth, relationships with my community, relationships with the plants and animals, and relationships with myself. I have deep skills of working with the earth, and because of that, the reality is that a lot of times this money, it just falls to the side. It's just not needed. Now, I am going to pick that up because That's going to get me to Los Angeles, where my next experiment begins, which is where I will have not a penny to my name. Now, why do I share my net worth publicly? I could do all of this without talking about this, surely. But the way that I am active on this earth, as an activist, as a human being, is that my life is my message. By simply embodying a state of integrity and truth and transparency, I am here for others to join me in this journey, one step at a time, breaking free from the monetary system, breaking free from these systems of destruction. So I want to be here to show you that for many of us, especially those of us with privilege, we need far less than we think in order to be happy, healthy, contributing members of society. Also, as a public leader, I believe that transparency is one of the most important characteristics to lead our society. And so I am speaking so publicly about this because I am here as an example to our leaders in saying that there's another way, that we don't need to monetize our leadership, that we don't need to gain from our leadership. I want our leaders to see what it's like to be a true public servant for the good of the people, not at their own expense. Yeah, not at their own expense, which is the way so many leaders are today, is that they lead in a way that meets their needs, they get their financial wealth, they get their fame, but it's at the pain and the suffering of others. I want people to see that our leaders don't need to do that, and I want leaders to see that another way is possible. In 2015, I made a set of vows for the first time in service to the people and to keep myself in a deep state of integrity. 6 of those vows are financial, and I'm going to share those with you right now. First, to earn below the federal poverty threshold. Second, to maintain a minimal basic net worth. Third, to donate 100% of my media earnings directly to organizations and people doing the work. Number 4, deep financial transparency. To number 5, not paying federal taxes. And lastly, number 6, to adhere to a deep set of ethics around my financial practices. These vows are all detailed on my website at robingreenfield.org/vows, and the other links that I have shared, sharing the details of my net worth and my financial transparency, all of those links are in the description of this video. I welcome you all to question the way in which you are interacting with money, to see if there are ways to break free from the monetary system and deepen your relationship with the earth, with the plants and animals we share this home with, and with our fellow humanity. Together, we can help to meet one another's needs. We can thrive together, and we don't need to sell our lives away to these corporations. We don't need to put all of our power behind the dollar. Our power can be right here in our hands and in our minds and in our communities. Oh, and yes, I mentioned that my net worth is soon to be $0, both in monetary and physical possessions. That's coming up in my experiment of non-ownership. This is going to be a deep time of experimenting for me. I love you all very much, and I look forward to sharing a hug with many of you, which for me is worth a lot more than a couple of these.